Are you loving the new fall and winter decor in stores right now? Well, if you are, you don't need to run out and spend a bunch of money because you can get those same trendy looks with just a few simple updates to the decor you already have. In fact, today I have 10 ideas for refreshing and refurbishing your current decor, things that I am sure you already have around the house. So, if that sounds good, let's get started. After researching in stores and online, I came up with this list of the top fall and winter trends that I'll be incorporating in today's projects. I was especially inspired by the dried florals that were added to eucalyptus wreaths. So I went around my yard and collected up some flowers and probably even some weeds, which I trimmed and then sprayed with a dried floral preservative. Then I found a simple green wreath that I already had and began adding the dried florals to the grapevine wreath base. I just spaced them out evenly around the wreath and I didn't use any glue or wire to attach them. Because I didn't have much to choose from in my yard, I also added a few dried wheat stems from my floral stash. To add additional texture, I made a bow from a long strand of beads that I strung on a piece of twine. On a recent shopping trip, I noticed a large number of very simple framed botanicals, including some that were printed directly onto the glass. So I found some simple leaf images and printed them directly onto transparency film. Then I cut the transparency film to fit inside some simple frames that I had on hand. I removed the glass, the back of the frame, and the pins that held the back of the frame in place. And then, because it was so lightweight, I just hot glued the transparency film into the back of the frame. I also hot glued a small piece of twine to one of the frames for hanging purposes. To create a 3D effect, I printed out a small photo to place behind one of the leaf transparencies. For this project, I decided to try drawing some flowers directly onto the sheet of glass that I removed from a frame. So I found some simple plant drawings online and printed them out in a size that was appropriate for my piece of glass. I situated my piece of glass over the drawing and then just traced over them using a gold paint pen. I wish I would have either drawn a larger flower or used a pen with a finer point so that more of the plant details would have been apparent. To make it a little more interesting, I inserted a piece of scrapbook paper in the frame behind the glass. I've also been noticing a lot of botanicals printed on black backgrounds, so I found an old picture frame in my stash and spray painted it black. Then I pulled the top ply off of some black floral napkins that I had. With the glass removed, I applied Mod Podge all over the top and sides of the frame, and then I carefully pressed the napkin into the Mod Podge. I applied another coat of Mod Podge over the top, using my paintbrush to help me smooth out any wrinkles, and then I let the Mod Podge dry. Once the Mod Podge was dry, I used an X-Acto knife to help me remove the center portion of the napkin, and I used scissors to trim up the edges. I also used a little bit of sandpaper to remove any little remnants of the napkin. Because the napkin is so thin, the images are really quite faint on black paint, which I think gives it a really interesting vintage vibe. Black accessories are definitely replacing white decor in popularity, so I thought I'd try to create some black and gold wall art. I cut out a floral design on a piece of vinyl using my Cricut machine. Using my Cricut tools, I removed the floral design from the piece of vinyl, which allowed me to create a personalized stencil. Using clear contact paper, I transferred the stencil to the hardboard backing I had taken from a picture frame and painted black. I made sure the stencil was firmly secured to the piece of hardboard, and then I used a sponge dauber to apply gold paint over the stencil. After the first light coat was dry, I applied a second coat. And when that was mostly dry, I began to remove the vinyl stencil. I had to use my Cricut tools to pull off some of the small pieces. The vinyl pulled off some of the black paint in a few spots, so I touched up the black paint and let that dry before I put the hardboard back into its frame. To clean up the back of the frame, I cut a piece of brown craft paper to fit and applied it using glue stick. Texture is a major trend this year, including velvet, like this $500 picture frame from Bergdorf Goodman. I was pretty confident that I could make a velvet picture frame for less than $500. I cut a velvet remnant that I had to fit around a cheap plastic frame. I folded the outer edges of the velvet over to the back of the frame and hot glued it in place. I cut away some of the extra fabric in the corners and then cut a slit in the corner so that I could fold the fabric over and lay it flat on the back side. Once all of the outer edges were glued down, I cut a large X in the center of the frame. I cut away some of the extra fabric and then folded those pieces over and hot glued them to the back of the frame. I printed out a simple tree image that I inserted in the frame and then reattached the back. To create another textural picture frame, I cut up a fuzzy vest that I purchased at Goodwill for $4. I cut and glued the fuzzy fabric to the back of the frame exactly as I had done with the velvet fabric. The fluffy fur was giving me Christmas vibes, so I printed out an image from a vintage Christmas card to put in this frame. I really loved how that fuzzy picture frame turned out, so I decided to use another piece of that vest to cover a styrofoam pumpkin. This pumpkin is from Dollar Tree and is hollow inside, So once I had cut off the stem, it was very easy to wrap a piece of the fuzzy fabric around the pumpkin and stuff the ends into the hole on top. Then I just added a piece of dowel rod for a stem, some twine-covered wire for a tendril, and a Dollar Tree leather leaf, which I cut to make a bit smaller. Earthy colors are so popular right now, including the orangey browns of terracotta, which I'm totally loving. To create a terracotta bird, I sprayed some Zinsser primer on this lavender ceramic bird. When the primer was dry, I applied 2 separate coats of a terracotta acrylic paint. I also applied the terracotta paint to a couple mismatched candlesticks that I had in my stash. I had this garden lime and water mixture left over from a project I did a couple weeks ago. I just left it sitting out in my garage. I stirred it up and it was good as new. Then I brushed on a thin coat of the lime mixture to both the candlesticks and the bird. When the lime mixture was dry, I used an old cloth to rub off some of the liming mixture to reveal more of the terracotta color underneath. There were a few places where I rubbed a bit too hard and I needed to touch up those spots with some more terracotta paint. Once I was happy with the way they looked, I sprayed on a matte top coat to seal in the lime and keep it from rubbing off. Natural wood tones are definitely trending right now, so I used some citrus stripper to remove some of the varnish and stain from this old wood salad bowl. You just brush the stripper on and let it sit for about an hour, and then you can scrape or rub the stripper off, and the varnish and some of the stain will come off with it. Once I had scraped off all of the stripper and cleaned the bowl, I rubbed it down with some linseed oil. Then I drilled a couple small holes on either side of the bowl and attached some old cabinet handles that I had. I decided I wanted to fill my wood bowl with some neutral colored pumpkins, so I gathered up a bunch of cheap plastic pumpkins and gourds that I had in my stash and painted them with some ivory chalk paint. After the first coat of chalk paint was dry, I applied a second coat, but this time I mixed a little baking soda in with my ivory paint to give my pumpkins and gourds a little bit of texture. I stick a skewer stick into the fruit and then prop them up in a glass jar to dry. I replaced all the plastic stems with real sticks and hot glued a few leaves to some of the pumpkins, but I tried to keep the display simple. If you want to jazz up this season's earthy color scheme, add in some gold accessories. To update this white owl that I've had for years, I first gave it a coat of Zinsser primer. After the primer was dry, I applied 2 separate coats of a vintage gold spray paint. I made sure the spray paint was thoroughly dry, and then I began brushing on some gold metallic wax. The wax was really hard, so I don't know if I bought a bad can or if gold wax is always this hard, but it did work like a charm. The The wax really added depth to the gold spray paint. Vintage art continues to be popular, so I'll put some links in my description box for sites where you can find free art in the public domain, like this vintage bird print. If you're like me and bought one of these glass and metal frames that unfortunately does not open and allow you to change out the print, I have a simple solution. Just print out an image slightly larger than the existing one, apply glue stick to the back, and adhere it to the front of the glass. I promise you no one will notice that the print is not inside the frame. Thank you so very much for watching today. And if you'd like more ideas for updating your current decor, here's another video I think you may like.